Welcome and hello and hello and welcome. Welcome and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me on an extremely special Thursday edition of Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Let me talk to you guys for a moment about growing up as a fat kid. There were a lot of things you just couldn't do. God blessed me with these short, fat legs and, a sharp mind, but good sense of humor, I would say. Bit portly, bit homely, but face for radio these days. You can't make it in radio, you end up on U-turd. But that's neither here nor there. But as a fat kid, you can't play soccer. They try to make you the goalie, but that's the worst thing they can possibly do because a goalie needs to be the fastest, most agile person. Goalie's got to leap for a kick right into the corner of the goal. You get a fat kid. I'm sitting there eating a ham sandwich. The ball goes by me. I don't even move. I'm going to leap up to block the fucking corner. Give me a break. I'm 8 years old. I'm 225 pounds. I can't even hop a chain link fence. Okay? You guys want to know the truth? I try to hop a chain link fence. Basically, what's going to happen is going to split my testicles open like a hot dog bun. I'm going to get stuck up there. All the kids, all the girls are going to be laughing at me. So I just let the other kids go. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy being me. That's basically what I'm telling you. Hard. That Jay-Z song, Hard Knock Life. It's about what it's been being old Danny Deals. But I'll tell you what, these short, fat I have no idea what this intro is about. I think it's bitterness because this diet is just tough. I'm not losing enough weight. I'm fat. I'm stupid. I'm old. Nothing's going right. Can't catch a break. Catching cold cards. Anyway, what's up, Raymond? How you doing? The great Din K is here. OC dude. I'm not an OC. I'm a South Bay dude. West LA dude, but I love OC. We're down there all the time. How you doing, Din? Nice to see you. The great Eddie Martin is here. Let's Poco indeed. Jeff Presley is here. Neo Building Energy, Patchy Drizzle. They are indeed. I am DJ Patchy Drizzle. I am cornbread. I'm moisto and I crumble under pressure. Let me go ahead and just be generous. I'm a generous lover. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. The reason I talk about stocks is not that I want to make money. I don't have people like, oh, you should do a Discord and you should try to charge money and, you should do a membership and you should monetize the channel and do commercials. And I was saying, I'm annoying enough as it is without a bunch of commercials. And I didn't get on YouTube for money. I got on because I just saw so much disinformation and I saw so many people on YouTube and so many people on sites like StockTwits and back when I used to talk on Yahoo a lot for you. I know people going back forever on stock boards, going back decades. And some of them encouraged me to come on here. And the thing I try to do is look at what a company really is. And sometimes the market mistakes what a company is. They did that with Tesla. They did it. It's well documented. If you know me, I bought Tesla in 2016. I bought Microsoft in 1996. I got on here basically to pump SoFi. Now, I was making penny stock videos because I love penny stock videos, but I look for misunderstandings. I look for things that are misunderstood by the market, mispriced by the market, or intentionally misrepresented. They place these false narratives. That's what it was with SoFi. Because I believe people who knew Anthony Noto and people who know, finance and Wall Street, they knew that SoFi had the potential to do something big. I think they just underestimated management, underestimated what they were doing with the business model. And I feel like everyone was saying, it's a bank. It's worth $3. The real value, I think at one point they're saying, it's $2. And here we are, we just touched $30. And a lot of people, again, the predictions I was making on price, they're saying I was crazy and I was underestimating it by a lot. And the reason I was able to do that and the reason I'm able to pick certain stocks very, very early is because you just have to see what they're building. You can't just look at the quarterly numbers. You can't look too much at net profit. I mean, you miss all the good companies. It's too late. So as I was making videos every single day, just begging people to buy SoFi for $5, mortgaging everything I had to buy all the shares I possibly could, when the stock fell under $4, I feel like we have a situation with Nio that is similar in that nobody understands the potential of what this can be. If you combine swap with solar, with cars, you actually have a hybrid potential power grid and transportation system in one. Just really think about it. You have these big announcements from BYD. BYD is outdoing Tesla in terms of the size of a power storage unit. That's only practical, I think, in very limited applications where something like these, Nio Gen 5 power swap stations, you have an effective microgrid right there, as well as a transportation system in a less developed area, even in a slightly more developed area, but, not particularly Western major city, etc. You have everything you need. You're going to be able to drop this thing off a semi truck, a couple of semi trucks, and you establish power. You establish clean, renewable power. You establish transportation. You don't need any gas station. You don't need to truck anything in. You have, assuming you can service the batteries and stuff, of course, they're gonna be issues. But there's a reason CATL, wanted to purchase Nio Power, and I think Nio basically said the price was too low. Perhaps those negotiations are ongoing. I know this is a bit of a rambling thing here today, guys. Sorry, once again, I didn't get nearly enough sleep and very tired, and quitting drinking coffee and fried chicken sandwiches has been probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But no, if you start to look at what Nio can actually be, if this gets a foothold throughout the Middle East, if it gets a foothold throughout Europe, what are the disadvantages to swap? The car's cheaper, no range anxiety, no worry about battery maintenance, no worrying about, resale values plummeting if your battery goes bad, and the cost. I mean, have you seen what the Tesla wants to replace these batteries? It's gonna be like 20 grand. If you have an older vehicle, it's basically worthless. If it needs a new battery, it's less than worthless on paper. I mean, swap solves so many problems. It's not even funny. Anyone pretending like swap is not just leaps and bounds better than a fixed battery is just kidding themselves at this point. Oh, we're going to solve it all with fast charging. No, you're not. It's just nobody talks about the practicality of fast charging all these vehicles all at once, all on a limited power grid. I mean, in the United States, I mean, I don't know how things are in China. I kind of do. But the United States, we have these brownouts in the summer. We have all these issues with our power grid, power generation. We're going back to more nuclear. I mean, swap makes sense on so many levels. And then you have these mandates for these battery checks, battery maintenance, battery reconditioning, battery disposal. With swap, you can vertically integrate all those businesses and make money from all those businesses, when other companies, it's going to be costing them money. They have to pay somebody else to recycle and dispose of their car. I think Nio is going to be an absolute monster. And I think these two vehicles we see, the Envo L90 and the Nio ES8, and then these new models coming, the ET9, there's going to be that supercar SUV. The price point of their supercar sedan and the limited, it's just incredible. What you get is just absolutely incredible with Nio for the money. And I again state, the ES8, the L90, they represent the two best value propositions of any SUVs in the world, because you take off so much money for swap, and that's a win anyway. Even I would contend, even if swap was much less discounted, the battery as a service versus buying the battery with the car, even if it was much less cheaper, in other words, the cost was closer, I still think it's compelling. I still think everybody's going to go with swap for so many reasons. But the fact that it's such an initial cost savings that it gets you in, like the L90, you feel like you're in a $50,000 vehicle. The ES8, you feel like you're in, $90,000 or $100,000. This is like Range Rover quality, Mercedes quality. That's why Nio has all the cachet. I know it's going down, a bit overnight. But if you look at the chart, this looks extremely strong. Volume looks extremely. Just take a look at the daily, and you see the only volume coming in is just massive, buying pressure here, and then a ton of buying pressure here at the end. and price fixing all through here. I mean, you see this, day in, day out. You can look at the 5-day, same thing yesterday. Huge pop, all the buying right here, volume completely dies. They suck the wind out of the stock. What do you see the day before? Same exact thing. So just the fact that the stock is going up doesn't mean the algo is not, completely working on the stock. The bulls and bears are basically the same people. People aren't going to believe. People think these shorts are some kind of geniuses. These shorts are no geniuses. They're completely trapped. I was saying that. I was saying that till I was blue in the face with SoFi. I'd be like, the stock would go up to 8, and I would say, hey, look, these shorts have nowhere to go. They're not going to push down and cover. Every time they push down, they short more. The whole thing makes no sense. Be like, oh, you just talk about the short interest too much. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you, I know exactly what I'm talking about because I see how these numbers change, when stocks go up, when stocks go down. You can just correlate what actually happens. You don't have to be some genius to understand all the mechanics behind it, what these market makers are doing behind the scenes. You just have to know what's going to happen. And I can tell you what's going to happen because shares on loan just went from, 460 million a month and a half ago down to 134 million right now. And that is extremely unusual behavior for market makers. Short interest just popped back up yesterday. Now shares on loan are 23 million behind short interest. So they're big time naked short. Cost to borrow just popped back up. Utilization just popped back up. I'm telling you, these neo bears are trapped. And I don't care if you say institutional ownership is too low. It's not going to be a big dramatic short squeeze, but look at what just happened. The price just doubled. They have to walk it up. Retail is buying the hell out of it in the 3s. I know some of you weak dumpskis are dumping, but what can I tell you? You guys suck. I'm so excited. I'm pumped up. I'm seeing the opportunity here because they walked this thing down from 70 to 3, and then the analysts are more calling, for 8. Be like, oh, it's out of gas at 7. And everybody's saying there's too much resistance at 760 because that's the yearly high. I mean, come on. What are you talking about? Who cares? Stock ran almost to $70 and they push it down to 3. I gotta get a little WD-40 on the old chair. You know what I mean? Dude, Frank, honest to God, it's an energy play. CATL wants to buy the power business. Batteries are everything. Energy storage is everything. Tesla knows it. Their cars are robots. They're not cars. They don't want to be in the car business. It's a low margin, volume, stack them high and sell them cheap type of business. That's the car business. Now, if you're Nio, you're in that high end, that sort of mid-high end, you're in the sweet spot because you're selling vehicles that have higher margins. Those really nice SUVs. Why do you think car companies are so focused on selling like big luxury trucks, big luxury SUVs? They're giving up on the real economy cars. They really can't even buy a car under 20,000 anymore. I remember when I bought a Hyundai Excel, it was like $5,900, brand new out the door, OTD. 3 cylinders, no airbags, life in your hands. That was back before Hyundai was like good quality. They first came to America. But boy, were they cheap. I think you could buy a brand new one for under $5,000. It's crazy. Guys, I seriously have no point with this video. But the point is now they're naked short. I mean, they were the short position looked so ominous with all those shares on, like they could just crush the stock. They have nowhere to go now. There's no play. What are the shorts going to do? Just keep borrowing into this? They're already dumping. Now they're going to borrow and dump more to try to force the stock down when the stock's about to make a profit. Sales are about to explode. Margins are, by definition, going to improve with this ES8. I mean, this is the high dollar vehicle that it's really hard to sell a high dollar vehicle with these types of margins. They said Deutsche Bank is saying they already have 100,000 orders. And they're sold out with what they can make for like the next 6 months, which I'm not in love with that, but it does bring an air of exclusivity, particularly when you see them on the road. And I think this is a vehicle people will actually wait for because I don't think you can get anything, this good unless you spend 20, 30 grand more or RMB, RMB. Oh, I don't know. Another just data point, if you guys want some, useless, disparate data points, take a look at who's shorting this thing and from where. And you think these guys are geniuses, but Wolverine is the biggest short. They increased their short last quarter, 22 million shares. They're shorting from 517. Okay, LMR Partners, they increased their short last quarter 1,500%. They're shorting from $3.85. Even the big guys like Citadel increased their short. They're from 556. Jane Street, same thing. So don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype, as Public Enemy said. Great Chuck D. Love the Yugo. Love the Yugo. I drove a Yugo like I stole it. Maybe I did. Thing with a Yugo, back in the day, if you went to college, you got like a Yugo. They didn't have a title. You didn't have a pink slip. They probably didn't have registration, or this is like pre-internet. Just kind of put some like hippie stickers on it, some like academic stickers, like you're some PhD candidate or something driving around. I'm just too deep in thought to register my Yugo. But I assure you I'm following all appropriate safety regulations, officer. All right, get out of here. How much harm can a fat guy in a Yugo do? People just let me go. They're like, this guy's not going to do anything. This jovial fat guy. What's the worst he can get up to? Be one too many donuts? You know what I mean? He's not robbing anybody. Oh, yes. Happy birthday to the great QT. I almost forgot. My brain is not working properly. QT, I got to tell you guys, I got the greatest immediate family unit in the history of the world with the great QT and the great Princess J. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how this old dumb old fat guy got so lucky, but he did. So I'm not going to ask too many questions. Anyway, QT, yeah, wish QT a happy birthday. Would appreciate it. Neo 100 his words. DD introduced price action. I'm long. So you guys, it's about to bust out of this channel. I mean, you can see it, plain as day. It established a new base here. It was basing down here, and then you can see it coming here. Just move this right up. And then this one candle, these single candles occupy this whole range. It doesn't get any tight, doesn't get any more bullish. The volume look at the volume these days. 95 minutes, just this sustained volume. I mean, 147 million, 234 million. You might say, okay, it's not going up enough to just, if these volumes were all buying or something, the stock would be back up at 30 or 40. That's very true. It's all churn. It's all price fixing. I mean, you could see how neat this price fixing is here, these 3 steps. I mean, but the thing is, it's getting tighter. The channel is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. This step was like infinite down here from 350. This step from 516 all the way back down to 437, this took, I don't know, I can't see. I'm too stupid. This took, the better part of 2 months, like 7 weeks. Then this one that went from 672 all the way down to 558. I mean, this was, I don't know, what is that? 2 weeks, not even a month, less than 3 weeks. And then this one looks like it might have just been a week. Little over a week, and we might be moving back up violently. So I see it kind of just, I don't love to use the term wedge, but I just see the price action consolidating, and I think that is indicative of a big move one way or the other. And I don't think this stock makes a big move back down. Unless they really botch this rollout. But I think they're going to start delivering a lot of ESA. It's people much smarter than me, Jimmy Chitwood and the Odd Investor. I love the Odd Investor. His content is great. IOVA, yeah, IOVA. Guys, I know the price action on prop and IOVA has been dark, and people are like, "Oh my God, isn't it crazy?" Like, you said it was go to 280 and then here it is back at 2 or 1. Guys, if they walk a stock down in less than a year from 12 down to 250, and you want to buy it, you think it's a good company, you think you see smart money was buying at 6, smart money was buying at 7. Don't worry if they walk it from 280 to 2 or 180. It's not going to zero. The next earnings report is going to come out. They still have the same amount of cash. That I have this weird thing with prop where like people are like, oh, it's so bad for them that the big institution they bought sold all their shares. I don't think it's really that bad for them that they dumped those shares low. Took away a lot of the leverage. I've been talking to a lot of people about how the dilution and stuff on that stock is going to play out. It's a lot more complicated than I'm qualified to explain, but all I can say is if you just look at this another way, like look at it like this is basically what you see. This is volume coming in, it's all buying. The short tells the story and the options tell the story. And I don't think 760 is going to be able to hold. I don't think the, yearly highs mean that much. I mean, if you pull back out, taking a look at what they're talking about, they're basically saying, this high here, and you could see this was a lot of resistance, kind of a lot of market being made right through here, not only here, but also here. So I can see what they're saying, kind of this, high sevens could be a lot of resistance, but I personally think this stock goes through this shoulder could be rejected more at this shoulder, even this point, which is like 980, but I think more 1040. And I think it can go there in a big hurry. I think it's going to be another 50% of upside in this stock. And they're like, well, that's absolutely insane. How could there be another 50% of upside? The stock just doubled. Well, look at the severity of the price action that they control. The price fixing on Nio is people's like, oh, manipulation. You're one of those guys. You're one of those big fat tinfoil hat idiots. Gene Hackman in the, that Will Smith film. What's that movie? Like they're spying on him and he's a lawyer. He's real sassy. He's having an affair with the lady from the Cosby Show. Keisha Knight Pulliam. Oh, I can't remember. I had a cat running around like crazy, spying on everybody. I think John Voight killed a senator. I can't remember. Anyway, I don't remember what this video was about, and I don't really care. The point is, if you look at this chart and you see where this company is fundamentally, and you just think, oh, that's it. They're just out of gas. It's just going to go right back down here. Why? They're about to make a profit. They're about to increase, I believe, the vehicles they're shipping dramatically. And those vehicles, it's so easy to sell a vehicle like the Mona. If you're like is that Xpeng, or, you're selling one of these vehicles or one of these companies that only basically makes one vehicle, and then they stick a little, fruity little hatchback on it and call it an SUV, Model 3, people make fun of me, but I still love Tesla. I'm still, a huge Tesla shareholder. I think it's my number 3 or 4 stock, behind Microsoft, SoFi, and then I think next comes it's either after that. I'm not exactly sure because I have to add a bunch up, but anyway, it's definitely top 5. Oh, makes the top 5, the Fab 5, the Great 8, Great Babe, the Great Sean Markey, SRM Contracting, Enemy of the State. That's what it was. Yeah, pretty good movie actually. Not a bad film. You get real defensive when I was asking him about the lingerie. It's like, it's for my wife. It's like, dude, just not calling you gay, man. Relax. Take it easy. Yeah, Chinese cars are coming hard, Carl. And I think Nio is in a great position to differentiate themselves. I know they're not going to compete with BYD at sort of that low end and the low mid end. I mean, Firefly, again, right now, it's obviously a very sort of cold niche product because it doesn't have a battery swap network. I mean, I know they're rolling out Choco as fast as they can, but the original Firefly car does not take, Choco. It basically has an orphan battery swap type that is never going to have a home. So it'll wander the plains all of its days, never able to swap, never able to consummate, never able to conceive. Just keeping that rusty, crusty battery all to itself. No, I don't know. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't take much, Frank. I get distracted basically. Oh, did somebody fart? Oh, farts, tarts, pop tarts. It really doesn't take much. I start clicking around. Oh, water bottles. Ah. Anyway, that's some good H2O. And then it's back up after hours. So I didn't watch too much, but I just feel like if you look at the volume, if you look at the chart, that's why I always say you can't really understand what technicals mean without looking at fundamentals and vice versa. If you're like, I'm a technical analyst, I'm fundamental analyst, buy side analyst, sell side analyst. You got to look at everything that's going on. You can't look just at the short interest. You can't look just at options. And I mean, I know there's a lot of calls at 7. I think it was like 30,000 at 7, 40,000 at 750, 33,000 contracts at 8 or something. I mean, that's dead money. I think it's going to pass 8 tomorrow, but I think it could definitely take a whiff of 8. I think it could tickle 8's balls. I think it'd come up to Ocho and say, hey, let me play the old fiddle. Let me play the old grandpa's old apple bag, if you know what I mean. Wouldn't be when Poco Moss if we didn't have exploit our testicular fixation. Not gay, but I'm very gay friendly and I do like to party. So there's that. Do like a good pair of finger cymbals. Merengue. Oh, Frank farts a lot. Good for you, Frank. It's a healthy digestive system. Getting plenty of fiber, my man. I like that name, Frank Flamish. It's got a flair. It's got a panache. Carl Seamark. That is a full-size water because I'm getting to a point in my life where I'm secure enough. I used to always drink mini waters because I felt proportionally it would make my penis look bigger. So I always had a bit of a fat guy penis syndrome. Where are you measuring from, babe? Come on, push in the gun. You're robbing me of an inch and a half. That's internal. That's internal weighing. You got to count that. It's a metric system, hun. But we're in America. I know, hun, but I do the metric system because I'm a science guy. Well, you're a political science major. Come on, hun. Work with me here. Work with my bullshit. You know the drill. It's all bullshit. You ever tried to measure? You ever tried to measure a fat guy's weighing and he's like objecting to the methodology? Trying to put down a bunch of ground rules. Like it's one of those those reason tests where he's like, if you can demonstrate paranormal activity, I'll give you $1 million. Like that. It was Dr. James Hardy or something. Trying to line up all these protocols to just measure my weighing. Nope. What we need 2 spreader clamps. We're gonna need 2 sets of sheets. We need a pan of hot water. Need some 3-in-1 oil. Need some forceps. Need 2 yardsticks and a backup yardstick. 3 pairs of rubber gloves. A boiled egg. Because I'm hungry. Don't read anything in. Come on, you guys have all been there. It's like getting your car up on a lift. No, honey, we gotta get a pommel horse. I'm gonna get up there, see? I'm gonna be spread eagle. And what I need you to do is come in with the duct tape. Honey, where'd you go? Ah, damn it. I'm alone again. If I'm only going to measure the part I can see, I'm in big trouble. Oh, there's the helmet. Sorry, guys. I hate talking about penis. Oh, this show's terrible. I need to get some sleep. But yeah, there's nothing like a little oh, my apologies. I apologize. First off, I do mark that this show is not for children, which is pretty obvious. Anyway, come on, Chris. I'm thinking of loading up on January 28th, $12 calls, $10 27. Are we talking Nio? How much are $12 calls? That's way outside the money. Why do you want to go so far out? What are those, like 10 cents? I don't know. I have to look. I don't buy options usually that far out. I kind of ladder them up. I stack them. You guys, I made a lot of money on options this week. Um, that SoFi account challenge is getting very, very rich. I started I'll tell you. You guys probably won't believe me, and I don't care. That's fine. I started, as you know, at the beginning of the year with $10,000. And yeah, we've like 40x'd that bad boy. So people who tell you they know how to do options, and I'll show you the screen, whatever. You probably think it's Photoshop. So what? Everybody who puts their screen up says this or that. But I just caught heaters on CRISPR, caught heaters on SMCI. I played the calls perfectly. I sold them at the right time. I was up like 2,000% on some calls, 1,200% on calls, 1,500% on calls, just over and over. But that's how you play a bull market. Just make millions of dollars. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky. You just get lucky over and over and over every year. Stocks is so I just see it coming. Like Nio, this was just a free double off that base. It's the easiest double in the world. This company's not going out of business. Government's not letting them build all those swap stations just to mothball it. Build all these cars, partnerships with governments in Middle East and Africa. This is much, much bigger than people realize. Much bigger. And it's going to go way, way up. In my opinion. Obviously, I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just see the walk down from 70 to 3, and I see the coiled spring. I see who's shorting, where they're shorting from, the fact that they're going to get very uncomfortable with these losses in the very near future, and there's so much buying pressure. So much buying pressure coming in on this thing. And I know there's not a whole hell of a lot of institutional ownership, but for me, it's some of the right institutions. And this is just, I see this huge, looks artificial to me, this walk down, how institutional ownership just sort of decreased very steadily at this 45-degree angle. They sold it off with the price action. Remember, like, these guys control the price. Like, they control the price. So UBS, 70 million shares, Wolverine, Susquehanna. Oh, those are puts and calls. Sorry. Where's actual position? Morgan Fudley is next. They decreased by 50%. Wasn't really happy about that. But Citadel, bullish position. Another bullish position. They increased. Renaissance increased. Citadel increased the put and their call. So I don't really know what to make of that. Citigroup actually decreased their position slightly. They're in from 603. Of course, they just increased their price target up to like 850. So everybody's talking about that. A lot of the big boys were increasing. JP Morgan, Citigroup, UBS, I think. So all of the right voices are saying, hey, it's time to push on the Nio stock. It's time to run this thing up. Now, you might say, well, with so many, retail investors owning the stock, the institutions who are trying to run the stock up, they don't care about anybody else. It's not a team sport. Yeah, institutions definitely collude and act in concert much of the time, but they're not friends. They don't care about each other. They don't have each other over for like Mad Men style pool parties, just do a bunch of blow, wife swap or anything. So I'm told. Anyway, I don't really know what the point of this video was, but if we just break out of this little channel, that's already going to put us, above, I think, that 780, which everybody's talking about as resistance. I think if we break out, I think we're going to break out of this channel tomorrow, come through 775, probably close, I don't know, right in here, 768, maybe even a little bit higher. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we catch a whiff of eight's nuts tomorrow. Ever in the gym, just some guy doing like some, hamstring curls. Hasn't hit the shower, you just catch a whiff, an ill-timed whiff of nuts. Oh, day nutsack. A Fragrance by Danny Deals. Nutsack is the essence of fatness. Welcome and hello to the greatest of the great, Princess J. Usually in the fairy tales, guys, a fat guy doesn't get a princess. Must have a 4-leaf clover up my ass, along with everything else. Oh, yeah. We're going to make a profit, Frank Flamish. Yep. The best fragrances. What's up, K936? Anime Nerd Network. Out of this topic, but what are your thoughts on SMCI? I love SMCI. I think it's going to be one more kind of shaky ER, and then I think the next one is going to be incredibly good. I think SMCI, this building blocks solution they offer, I think it's going to be really revolutionary. These data centers are just multiplying, going faster and faster. This is all accelerating. Whether we like it or not, AI is going to be everywhere all the time. It's not subsiding. It's not slowing down. I keep hearing, oh, the AI trade, the AI bet, it's all slowing down. But then you hear spending. I mean, you just hear Microsoft is going to spend $30 billion in the UK building out AI infrastructure. I mean, if Microsoft is spending $30 billion just in the UK, just think about it. Do the math. It's trillions of dollars they're spending on this stuff. Spending just at like Facebook and Google and Microsoft is crazy. And SMCI is shooting for 30%. So people think they could only get 25. I think the building blocks is going to help them land more sort of the mid-major accounts that are, time is money. I think SMCI is the best product. I think they have the best time to delivery, the best cost, the best density. I think SMCI is a compelling AI play. If they could just hire a high-profile CFO, give everybody confidence in the numbers, I think overnight it's a $75, $80 stock. What stock grows the top line at 50% and makes money? What stock goes from 3 billion to, 24 billion just a couple of years? It's a crazy, crazy play. I mean, it's a big risk with all these accounting difficulties. But hey, every rich, reward profile is going to have an equally daunting risk profile. There's no free lunch, guys. You don't get big gains without, taking some risk. It's like that's the way life goes. Yes. Of course I saw you. My unit. Yes, I saw you, Annie. Welcome and hello. There's your comment, Annie. Welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. No, I'm no catfish. I'm not going to sing. I was trying to get the SoFi rock opera together, but it's just so dated. It's so horrible. It's horrible. It's humiliating. Already as a chunky monkey to sing that turd. Okay, guys. I don't know if this video had any point, but just here's my... Everybody thinks I'm stupid. Everybody thinks I'm fat. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Everybody thinks I'm lazy. Everybody thinks I have a short attention span and a short wiener. Screw you guys. Nio, I think, is going to almost touch 8 tomorrow, and I think it's going to touch 10 by Halloween. HALLOWWEN spells Halloween. Anyway. Yeah, Rigetti has been just all over the place. Absolute monster. Where are you guys putting that Klein, KLN? Everybody's hawking that down in the comments. Reach me on Telegram, Miss Tito Puente. I didn't have any money and I had a tiny wiener. And I started trading with Mr. Tito Puente, and I now have a huge yak on me. Big set. Big, huge set. Big swinging yaking bills. And by anyone, I mean any swinging dick. Llewellyn Moss. Belongs to a fella named Moss. You mean Llewellyn Moss? Listen, stupid. I already said Moss. We know who we're talking about. Stop trying to interject. I'm Sheriff Jim Tom Boyle. You're the deputy who's going to get strangled or killed on a horseback. You hurt Loretta's horse. I tell you. She's gonna waterboard your ass in her barn. Oh, guys, I have no idea what I'm talking about. You ever watch No Country for Old Men too much? Start thinking way too much about the characters. Incredible movie. Incredible movie. Well, the raging inferno of fire trucks and ambulances and police cars coming to kick down my door and take me to get the help that I need tells me that this show has run its course. I would like to thank Survive and Thrive 25. I would like to thank Frank Flemish. I would like to thank he's certainly he's a volume shooter, that Frank Flemish. But if you weed through all the nonsense and fluff, pretty good stuff in there. Welcome and hello, Frank. We got Rich Lee, low risk, high reward. Yeah, I get your point. It's almost inevitable the same way SoFi is inevitable, but I don't think it's as inevitable as SoFi. I think they have a great shot. I think they've done great foundational work. I think Swap is the real deal, but Nio has had issues with execution. They've had issues with rollout. They've had issues with execution. They've had issues with, overindulgence, thinking their shit don't stink. Yeah, Big Bill, you were looking at your wing in a funhouse mirror. It's not that big. Get grounded, buddy. Yeah, when you look at a nice proportional non-funhouse mirror, penis is manageable at best. Hey, guys, little top tip. You get a small wing. Describe it as manageable. Turn a negative into a neutral for the ladies. No, it's manageable. Definitely won't scare you. Describe your penis as approachable. Yeah, like long walks. My penis is approachable. Not scary. Oh, anyway. I can't even conceive of a medium like this where they let just complete morons come on and talk. Like 30 of you watch it. No idea why. Show's so stupid. Carl, yeah, the scrapyard challenge. I know the guy who was the host of that. He was one of my tenants. Rossi. Nice guy. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that, man. One thing for sure is the worst is I totally agree. Survive and Thrive. All those turds shorting from 350 and 5. You ain't getting that back. You fucked up. You done got me fucked up. You doing extra. Anyway, guys. I guess that's it. To everyone who watched, I apologize. Bye-bye.